Hello, and welcome to a new episode with your host, Vinnie Chopra. I'm so excited to have you here as we dive deep into the world of real estate investing, syndications, abundance mindset, and building generational wealth. We are excited to be in the top 1.5% of the real estate podcasts. Got number 11 actually out of top 50 real estate syndication podcasts. Thanks to you. Each episode, we bring powerful insights, expert guests, and actionable strategies to help you take your investing game to the next level. Whether you are a seasoned investor or just getting started, if you love what you hear, please take a moment to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on social media so that we can never miss an episode. Your support helps us continue sharing valuable content with more people like you. Now let's jump into today's episode. Thank you.
Welcome back, alchemists. This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarello, and the great Vinnie Chopra. Vinnie is on his treadmill getting his miracle morning going. I am here in Tampa today with Gary Ager behind me, but you can't see because I got the green screen, my solar panels. We're going to dive into Wealth Principle 39 really quickly. This is how you do anything, is how you do everything. This is the first time tuning into Abundance Thursdays, we do this every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason we make that separation is because Vinny's on the West Coast. He's in a little place called Black Hawk, California, or next to Danville, and I am out here normally I'm in Cleveland, but today I happen to be in Tampa. So East Coast, West Coast, but abundance is still the same mindset. Vinny, you said you were just working on a new deal, came across your table last week.
It's mind-blowing, abundance mindset, just like our show says, the more you think abundance comes in your life. I mean, there might be certain areas which are needing more help and may not be going good, but hotels, I've always said that hotels are multifamily on steroids. I call that because it's daily business and the ADR changes, occupancy changes every day. So it's a product that is fresh, just like the fresh vegetables. It's the freshest in the morning, but it dies at night. Literally, because if your hotel is not, occupied, the room dies and then it relives again next day. So it's a pretty good thing. So, my deal over there in Legacy West in Plano, Texas, 90%, we have raised the money. We're close to 6 million out of 7 million already. And it's so exciting. The deal is great. We got 35 offers. We won the deal, non-refundable, 500,000 we gave. And we are just getting the lenders now who want to give us the loan on it and so forth. The other one is in Las Vegas, opposite to MGM. It fell in our lap. The senior loan is only 22 million. And there is a mezzanine loan of 5 million. I can talk about it. It's 506C. The key thing is we are just taking the mezzanine out and giving our investors, accredited investors, I can talk about it, like 12% per year, paid out monthly. So in other words, every month, money will get into their ACH accounts. So that's a great one. It's worth 52 million. So we are only raising about 5 million total, And third one is coming in Minneapolis. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a fabulous one. Again, another beautiful hotel. The PIP went in very big number, 47 million actually. And we are going to be getting it a much, much deeper discount and so forth. So
Before we dive into this principle, I got to share that I had a hotel experience in Washington, D.C. this week. Yes. Where I went to a hotel and it was full. Every single room, like for the whole building, was absolutely full. And so I had to go and get another hotel and I had to start calling them and say, hey, are you full? Yeah. And that was a first time for me. I've never been turned away by a hotel before because usually I just show up and I go in. This was 2:00 in the morning when my flight landed super late. And I was blown away. And I said, wow, this is a good problem to have as a hotel. Right? Think about that. Wow. Like every single room is taken. They don't have any extra rooms. That's a great problem. And that's what you're running into when you do really good management. When you have a good flag out there that people know, that they're familiar with, which is why you use things like the Marriott and Some of the names that you use are, I think, Holiday
Hilton,
Inn, like
Hilton's, Marriott's,
Hilton.
Yep,
So
the high-end
uh,
hotels. And
for anybody who's never considered hotels before, the flag is the brand. I didn't realize this. This is a big part of a hotel. You can have the building, but the second you
yeah,
put the right flag out there, boom, you get that flag's marketing. And
yeah,
people will only use the Hilton. The Hilton people only use the Hilton. People who
yes,
do HGA or whatever it is only
yeah,
use that
I
one. The people
see.
who only do uh,
Uh-huh.
the Marriott's, and I got friends who only do the Marriott's, and they give me a hard time if I do an event that's not a
Brand
Marriott. They're like,
loyalty,
"Oh, can we
brand
do a
loyalty,
Marriott hotel?" Like,
yeah. Brand loyalty is amazing in these kind of, top and the mid-size hotels. You bet, mid-brand.
so let's dive into it. If you're a passive investor, then welcome to Alchemist Nation, right? The whole point of this community is to make money from doing less, right? The idea we talk about on Saturdays is double your income, double your net worth, and do it with less work, do it with less effort. The easiest way to do that is to increase your active capital, like actual capital that you have. And in this principle, this idea of how you do anything is how you do everything is so minute and so massive. Vinny, you sent me a bunch of notes like you normally do, and one of them, I'm skipping ahead to one of them. So excellence is a habit, not a one-time act. That's like the order you have, but I want to skip all the way down to one you put in here. Sloppy in small things, watch out, it'll creep into big things.
Oh, wow. Wow. That is really, it stucks, right in your face, actually, because if you're sloppy in smaller things that are insignificant and the results really don't matter in those insignificant things, our brain does not know, the subconscious does not know good from the bad. Conscious brain knows everything what we do and it records, but subconscious cannot tell from the bad, ugly to good and best. So it's so important that we do small things, take care of the small things in a great way. The habits are formed that way. And then we see our progress, our habits change, our thinking changes, and then we could convert that smaller victories into bigger victories in business, in relationships, and all over. So we need to be watchful to what we are doing with smaller things. Yeah.
And I want to share for the person who's listening who has ever been confused or been accused of being called what is it called?
Oh,
Not attention. It is somebody who does things over and over or does things a very specific way. OCD. So if
oh,
you've ever been
yes.
accused of being an OCD individual, where you do obsessive compulsive disorder, they call it
Yep.
that.
Yep.
But most highly successful entrepreneurs are a little bit OCD. The
They are.
problem is that society thinks that these systems and rules you follow are not the right ones because every human being is actually OCD. They're just usually using very bad habits. They have very bad systems that they're obsessive and compulsive over. Like,
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to those little things ever. I don't clean my desk at the end of the day. That's an obsessive compulsive behavior to just leave your desk a mess. But somebody who is what we'll say OCD goes and cleans up after themselves. That's a success habit. That's a habit of successful people. So every human is obsessive compulsive, but the people who are doing highly successful activities end up with slightly different results. It's called them extremely different results over the long term. So what's a small habit, Vinny, that you had to change that started leading to really, really good habits? Same exact thing, just at great scale.
That's a good question. Very good question. I was just thinking about like how we fold the laundry, how we brush our teeth. Is what does it really take to brush your teeth? Nothing much. But if we have consistency and using the same strokes and all, and I mean, Sonicare, all these different kinds are there, right? Of the toothbrush, which really give you. And I'm going to a dentist today, actually. So I was extra careful. The thing is, as you make habits, you don't have to then worry about things. So the big thing I find is smaller things in life lead to bigger things. And if we do systematically, a lot of people are, we should be OCD to some extent. Many times we can really be too aggressive and then we can decapacitate ourselves. We cannot accomplish too much. Little bit error is okay, But the big thing is we need to be really a core value system should be that I want to try to do small things and big things efficiently, productively, and make sure that my subconscious and the conscious mind are in the same parallel race, so that we can accomplish a lot more.
And so I think a great example I've heard you talk about in the past was like we just talked about folding laundry. How this scales out into large deals is your PPM. So you literally said this at the very beginning of the call. This is a 506C. It's not a 506B. A lot of
Yeah,
operators use 506Bs, and so they're not allowed to talk about what is in their deal, what their returns are when they're on a call
yeah,
like this. You choose a 506C because you're so out there all the time that
yeah,
you didn't want to have the extra habit of I have to be careful. I can't say this. I can't say that. You're
yeah.
now I can see it in your reaction. You're like, oh, by the way, this is 506C, so I can actually talk about this now. There's this habit you had to build that was very, very cautious. And now that you're able to freely talk about deals, it's like instantly speeding up. It's like somebody else is folding the laundry for you. And you no longer have to waste time like slowing down and not talking about things.
That's a very good thing. In my mastermind in the circle last night, I talked about it. People ask me, they say, Vinny, how did you build this big, 220 million you raised? I said, it was the main thing. What I wanted to do was go after accredited investors. There are 26 million accredited investors in USA, and I have only 582. So I was telling them the number is so minuscule as compared to it's such a big pie. If you have a great deal underwritten well with very good assumptions, the accredited investors and other investors will flock and come in because you have a great deal. But you've got to spin the plates of raising money, talking to investors, and looking at the deals at the same time. Then I gave them the whole shebang about once the deal is accepted, you have 60 days to close it. Oh my God, 60 to 90 days. So lots of students, investors really appreciated that. The timeline is so important. And that's why, we need to be talking to our investors and having Zoom meetings and building relationships and gaining their trust through education so that they'll be ready when the deal comes.
Which you're kind of leading into the next one. So before I dive into relationships and why they're so important, you also mentioned to me in the notes that investors, like passive investors, are usually business owners, people who have learned
Yes,
it, they've done it, so they have the habit of learning, doing, and then delegating and teaching.
yes,
And you get to 50 years old, 60 years old, you start thinking, I want somebody else to go do this work for me, right? I've built the capital, I understand the industry, but I don't want to flip the houses anymore. I don't want to go in landlord anymore. I don't want to run my hotel anymore. I know a lot of the people who passively invest with you, Vinny, are ex hotel owners themselves. They owned hotels, they owned casinos, they owned multifamilies, they owned residential assisted livings. So they understand the business pretty well. Or in many cases, many of them just owned a single family house. And they're like, I couldn't imagine having more than just my kids in this. That was already a lot of work. So how does a person start in small things? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. How does a person start in small things to start preparing to have other people do the management of their money, growing their money for them and paying them for them? What are some small examples of small investments that you could do to start getting your muscle used to having people do the work for you, having money work for you instead of you working for money? Because
see,
I think a lot of people have the problem of they work, 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 work for money, and they get so obsessed with that that I
yes.
mean, how you do anything is how you do everything. You'll forever have to work for money. But if you start thinking that money works for you on small things, how do you expand that?
I would say it all boils down to making a decision that, I want my money to work rather than getting 2%, 4% CDs or whatever, Wall Street, I call it Wall Street and Main Street, right? So I had interview this week, actually, today's Thursday, with, very good friend of mine. And he was talking about how to shift from Wall Street. A lot of people don't know how to take their retirement funds and diversify. Diversify because real estate really brings you great benefits of leverage and tax benefits and 1031s, and of course now bonus depreciation is there 100%. All those things, paper losses, give the taxes, lowers the taxes of W2 people and for entrepreneurs. So it's so important that we get educated. That's number one. Secondly, having the desire to say, I'm going to diversify, and then it's not that rocket science. You are able to actually find out from the internet is so good in teaching us now, that we could ask any question and get really great answers, which we can apply, and so forth. The biggest thing I find is that people sometimes just don't want to exert a little bit time and energy in vetting the deals. I call it vetting the sponsors, the horse and the jockey. We talk about that all the time. But the big thing is real estate is a great way to make money. And it always has gone up. If you look at 20, 50 years back, the key thing is to find the right operators and also look for distressed assets. This is that time of the year, senior livings. One of my students, Ankur, talked about three different, one person, they're retiring. And they have a great brand. They have 3 RALs they want to sell in California. He says, Vinny, I'm so fired up to find out the more ins and outs and P&Ls and all, so that we could underwrite it next week and then see if you want to get into it. Same thing is in hotels. Hotels also, due to COVID, had come down into foreclosure. Some banks own them, and that's what we are going after to find, because they don't know how to manage them, but we do know. And that's why I'm kind of gone away from multifamily. There are multifamily will be there, like you're doing fabulous. I love that. But you got to look at transferring of wealth. One hotel owner just shared with me from San Francisco, and he says, Vinny, I have this one, and I have this and this and this and this and this. I said, oh my gosh. He says, but my children don't want any part of it. So there are situations like those that we can uncover and have a win-win situation.
And that's happening more and more in the market. People have asked me, like, why am I growing so much? Why am I buying so much? It's not that, I didn't set my new intentions. My offers started getting accepted. I've been putting out these offers for years and years.
Hi friends, this is Vinnie Chopra from here in Danville, California. And you might be saying, hey Vinnie, what are these over here? I wrote this book a few years back. Apartment syndication made easy. It became top seller. I came from India with $7 in my pocket. It says 500 million. It's going to be 1 billion very soon, very soon. I'm right at about 850, 900 million. And then I'm ready for the next billion. Actually, you will see that happening, 2 billion in this book also. The other book I wrote, which has been a very big positivity, has been my life. Always, I've been married 43 years with 2 children. And the beauty is to be positive, the mindset that can take you to all the places in the world. And that's the book that also became big seller. My 3rd book, Senior Assisted Living, is coming. So do yourself a favor. Go ahead and click the link below to get free copies, audio copies of these books, even printed copies of these books. Printed means digital, if you can't afford it. But I would highly recommend for you to get these, or go to Amazon.com. Just go to Amazon. I got it in soft cover, in hardcover, in Kindle, in audio, also the Spanish version of this book also. So let's crush it, guys. I know you can be successful. I know you can do the kind of things that you want to do in life and have the streams of income and know how to really, educate yourself so that you could become a strong force in this world in real estate. I know you can. So take that step. Don't just be on the sideline. Take charge of your life. Take charge of your education.
It's just that now they're really getting accepted. They're coming in left and right. I just negotiated a 76 unit in Jackson, Mississippi. Vinny, you're going to love this. The seller is a lender. He originally lent on this property. The borrower got foreclosed on. Yeah. And we just went in and said, we'll just take over the old guy's mortgage and we'll come in and we'll just do the work that this guy never did. Of course, he wanted 1.7, we're at 1.1, so
Yeah,
it's a good deal for us.
sure.
And that is the market right now. Like, we're going into it with no money. We just have to do renovations, which we'll go and we'll get a loan for. But this is the market right now. It's a great opportunity, whether you're in multifamily, whether you're in residential system, whether you're in hotels. And I was talking to a partner yesterday, and I was saying, look at what Vinny's doing right now in the hospitality space. I mean, he's buying these things, and his investors are making $5 million off of these transactions. And he's like, Vinny wants to hold them forever, but they sell them in 2 years. Like, they're just going up because the
Yeah.
operators are so weak in this market right now that Vinny comes in with his guys and can turn it around in almost an unrealistic time frame, right? It just seems so crazy that in 2 years you've almost doubled the value in many, like 40% increase in the value in many
Yes.
of these, because you bought it right. Also, that helps a lot. You're
Yeah.
getting the 20% discount right at the beginning, 40% discount right at the
Yep.
beginning.
Yep.
So, Vinny, relationships are a big part of your business, right? It's not a question, right? You allocate capital, that you help people move their capital into deals, but you're not operating at the on the boots on the ground in the property. You have really smart people who are operating, who are
Yeah.
running these teams of the hostess all the way to the waiters to to every part of, the cleaning crew. How is it that somebody who's listening right now who's thinking, man, I just want to put my money to work. How do I find really great operators? What is that secret sauce of building relationships? And I'll take it to the next level. I know you treat your wife the same way we treat your investors, right?
Yes.
So how you do anything is how you do everything. Why does your wife want to stick around for almost 50 years, over
Yeah.
50 years now? Like, why is that relationship so long lasting? Why do your children love to go on vacation with you? I know many people who can't spend a weekend with their kids, let alone travel for a month with their children. So what is it about you how is it you prioritize relationships, whether it's the investor, your kids, your family, the person I see when you walk on a lot of these calls, you're walking saying hi to everybody, you're like the mayor of Blackhawks. So what is that? What do you think one of the two or three like really core principles you take in a relationships that are leading to all this other success?
You know, I would say in nutshell, it's how you behave, how you project yourself, and what kind of energy you bring in with everybody. See, you cannot say, I'll be good to this person, not good to this person, good to this person. You got to just have the overall mentality that everybody touches me. I'm going to present value. I'm going to give them value. I'm going to give them energy. I'm going to give them enthusiasm, positivity. That's what people tell me. They say, Vinny, we just love you because you brighten the room, or any meeting. I mean, and so forth. So it's not me. I'm just a humble man. The key thing is core values are I want to spread the positivity, energy, and help and collaborate with amazing partners, amazing people. Once you send those signals out, law of attraction, I didn't, that's when people start coming in your fold, and then you start look at, okay, what's a win-win situation? What will work? What will not work? So you have to be conscious and unconscious at the same time. It's ridiculous. But the thing is, the door opens, when you knock on the door, opportunity doors open for lots of people. But how many of us open the door to let them in? That's the biggest fallacy, I think. A lot of people overanalyze and overthink and all that, which miss then lots of great opportunities. They do. I feel like, if I can have great jockeys on different businesses that I'm invested in and I'm partner in, the key thing is if I can add value to what they are doing, then it will be a great win-win situation or
And
partnership.
I got to go back to your way of being in a room and adding energy to a room. You come to the summit every year, and every year you're there, I can see the difference the moment you walk into the room. I can see the energy that not only people feel from you, but I see your energy change. As soon as you lock eyes, it's like you
Yeah.
become this electric, energy hits you, and you get so excited to meet that person. As soon as you recognize you're about to go have a handshake, like it's just like you're very excited. That is a habit. It's something you wired yourself to do. And I feel when I see you at the first time at the summit, the day before when we get together, you're just like, oh, Walter, and it's like from across the room, we're slow motion getting to each other. That energy, I have felt it as somebody who's been in front of you, like had your attention. It's a very
Thank
powerful feeling, something that you put out. And I see you do it with whether it's little kids at the event. Like there's these two young brothers who hold up a
you.
sign every year. They're like, "Yeah, bring us Vinny, bring us Vinny." So it's a wild experience to see your level of energy, your interaction with humans. And for everybody who's listening, I would say that if you're having a hard time finding great operators, if you're having a hard time with contracts, if you're having a hard time with real estate agents, if you're having a hard time with capital partners, the banks, maybe practice a little bit of what Vinny does and think of that person as the most important person in the room and just get excited that you're on a call with them or you're meeting them in person or that you're in a relationship with them, whether it's text or email, because it comes through the energy, the words that you're putting into your communication. I've seen that from as a bystander, as somebody who interacts with you often. I think it's a secret power that's such a small habit practiced so often that when it really matters, when you're in front of the big investor, when you're in front of that big developer, when you're in front of that operator, you're able to hold your ground and present that charisma and understanding. I think you practice so often that positivity that it happens no matter where you go.
So true, so true. And it takes time. But the thing is, you can start today. I know a lot of people are already in the pursuit of being more positive, more enthusiastic. If two things which anybody could grab today would be light up the room and be enthusiastic and know your content, what you're going to spread around. See, that's the biggest thing. Many times we meet with people, investors, vendors, loan brokers, attorneys. You need to be totally written down what you want to accomplish, which is going to be taking their less time. And then they are on your same vision to accomplish it. But the biggest thing is you want to empower others to do better than you can ever do. Myself, I can ever do. And it's so exciting that I've never gotten from social media 700,000 within a week's time, 2 weeks' time for the hotel. Social media, they didn't know about anything with Vinny. And they just saw me in action or videos or some podcast and they say, Vinny, we want to invest with you. So that really humbles me, really. I thank God that, the key thing is who you are. You cannot change overnight, but you can change incrementally and make a decision today to be more positive and more enthusiastic.
Yeah, I love this. This is I think for everybody who's listening right now, this is Abundance Thursdays. This is something we do every week for one reason. Vinny is out here looking to build not 100 millionaires, but looking to build 1 million millionaires. And the easiest way to do that is through passively investing with great operators. We know that to be true. We've passively invested ourselves, and we found that that money is the easiest money that we make. Whereas the operations and going out and doing all the work, you have to do that in the beginning. And everybody who has built something good for you, you had to do that work. Try to be 20 years old, come to this country, say I want to earn passive income. That doesn't work that way. But if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you had years of building capital, years of investing. That the easiest way to get passive income now is to deploy that capital. And Abundance Thursdays is about thinking with the abundance mindset. How do you attract the right entrepreneurs who can take your money and grow it? How do you attract the right contracts, the right team members, the right partners? How you do anything is how you do everything. This principle goes beyond everything we talk about all the time because it truly does come down to your mindset. And Vinny wrote a book called Positivity Brings Profitability. If you haven't had a chance to go get that book, now is a great time. You get on Audible. It's free online. If you go to vinnychopra.com/books or
Yeah.
vinnychopra.com, you can go and find all the different free resources on the website. I
Yes.
don't say this as a commercial. I say this because if you're missing out, if you feel like maybe your attitude needs to change a little bit to be more successful, go and read the book not How to Win Friends in School, but the abundance mindset, the positivity brings profitability. Get on Audible. If you don't have time, get it on Audible. Go to Amazon, get it on the Audible version. There's
Sure.
people who've actually done this on YouTube already, so you can go to YouTube and get it for free. I believe in thinking positively with all the frameworks. Vinny talks a lot about frameworks on Wednesday. He does his mastermind. You get access for 4 free sessions in his mastermind, which people pay $10,000 a year to be in. But you can get it for 4 free sessions. Go to vinnychopra.com and go to mastermind and see how to get that the 4 free sessions. This is something that entrepreneurs all across the country struggle with. Vinny, and I'm going down to the very bottom here. The biggest problem I've seen is bringing your A game to the small stuff. Bring your A game at the beginning when you first hire a person, bringing your standards to operations. I think a lot of people go and they'll just hire anybody with skill or talent. They just hire for a role. They bring on an operator because they had a PowerPoint, they put a presentation together, or they go to a bank because the bank was offering some sort of bonus. Being able to qualify A players, the right people, the best people to work with, comes from having that standard within. And once you have that standard of I only go to the best restaurant, I only speak properly to certain people, that means I'm only going to allow certain people in my life. How did you level up to the point where you were always attracting great quality people to do the deals morally, ethically, legally, who are the greatest operators, the greatest people to be trusted, trustworthy people? What habit would you say you dug in, built inside yourself that started to really, like, what age were you, or what had you accomplished that really made you realize it's time to work on this habit? Because it's a habit, right? All of these skills, like these little things, lead up to big things. What
You
was it
know,
that you said, from now on, I only spend my time with the best quality people?
Thank you for asking that question. Again, I really believe that the companies are built with people, not the buildings. I say that, or walls. Walls are just there, but the companies are built with the quality of people, quality of partners. And we always say partners because we had 158, great people who were managing all these multifamily. And I had my acquisition company and management company simultaneously. Alba CEO of both of them. And hiring the right people with great history is so important, so that you are able to use their strengths and their knowledge and everything to make your companies grow faster, rather than looking for cheaper payments of, let's say, salaries and bonuses. I used to give two bonuses to every single team member, one in June and one in end of November. I might have mentioned it. That was a great thing because they were able to look forward to it. And whenever I'll go to the locations and we'll have meetings and, fish boils, crawfish boils. I remember those, and taking them out for restaurant just to break the bread, let them know that you care for them. And it's been so wonderful that we get calls and emails from our past partners, who are managing our assets. When are you going to buy again? We want to come and work with you. So that's a great feeling. I really appreciate that. The thing is, you got to see who you're hiring. Behavioral questions should be asked a lot more. Do full intentions of using their talents, but train them into your role. I always say that. If they don't know your culture, your company culture, you got to take time as CEO, as regional, as director, to share with them your nuggets. You don't want to do everything, but you can teach them. And that's what I used to do, the trainings through videos and Zoom meetings, and everybody will be present in presentable uniform and everything like that. So just to not ramble, the key thing is to get the right raw material, our partner, their background, and show them the vision, what this company will become, what they will become. See, people like to give their very best if they know that their job is secure, that they will be getting paid and bonuses and benefits and all that stuff. And then they will grow with you. That's how we did for almost 10 years. We grew so much. And then I started selling multifamily like about 4 or 5 years back. Usually our cycle ends 3 to 5 years always. So we do try to exit at and leave some more profits for the buyer. They have to make money too, and then pay back our investors and so on. So it's a collage of things, but the personnel, the partners you hire have to be the right ones. And if there is a poison, that's one thing is very big in my organization. If I found out somebody backbiting, somebody not being, truthful and things like that, I fired them on the spot, no matter what happens, because you cannot contaminate your organization.
Wow. Yeah, I think any entrepreneur who's had a big enough team knows exactly what we're talking about. Even sometimes the wrong clients inside of a community or the wrong people inside of a space can be the contamination. You just got to cut them out. So Vinny, we got a lot of stuff today. You are running another training. I think, are you doing it today? Today in just a little bit.
Senior living.
The link is vinnychopra.com/events. And what is today's training? This goes into how you do anything. This is how you do everything. If you get the knowledge, you learn it, you do it, then you can delegate it and have other people do it for you. What is today's topic?
Today's topic actually is senior living. I know 11,200 baby boomers are turning 65 every night in USA. And there are great opportunities in senior living, in purchasing the real estate, in operating the business. So I'll be digging deeper into it and teaching our, accredited investors or other people who want to know about it. That's what is today at 4 p.m. PST. Just go to vinnychopra.com/events and you will see I give 3 webinars a month now to teach, and then you could reach out to me to go further along and so on.
You've heard it here. This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarello, the great Vinnie Smile Chopra. We do this every Thursday at 9 a.m. PST, 12 p.m. EST. And if you're getting value, please drop something in the comments. As we're talking, as we're doing this, it really helps me and Vinnie get some feedback.
Yes.
Also, the more you comment, the more other people engage, the more Facebook shows this to other people. And if you are on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. It helps our channels increase. The more people see our stuff, the more likely we're going to have an impact. And our goal is to build 1 million millionaires together. So thank you for your commitment to yourself, to this community, and to what you're doing. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. We'll see you next week.
See you next Thursday. Thank you. Bye-bye. Dear friends, this is Vinnie Smile Chopra. I am so glad you're listening to the episode. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Please share it with others who can really benefit also. Can I ask you a favor? Just a small favor. Less than a minute, if you could give 5-star reviews on iTunes or Stitcher, that'll go a long way. We are one of the top podcasts in real estate now in the nation, but it will really help a lot if you gave 5-star reviews, and we'll bring a lot more great content for you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, and see you in the next episode. God bless you. Bye-bye. Wow, what an incredible conversation today. I hope you got tons of value from this episode. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on social media to stay updated on all the things real estate, investing, abundance mindset, and wealth creation. If you're an accredited investor looking for exclusive investment opportunities, be sure to join our elite Monil Investors Club at vinnychopra.com/invest, where we share details of our future projects. Quick disclaimer, we are not selling any securities, and this podcast is strictly for educational and information purposes only. The opinions shared by our guests are their own and should not be considered financial or investment advice. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, keep smiling, keep investing, and keep making a massive impact. God bless you.
Hey there! The upcoming episode is scheduled for Thursday. We appreciate your viewership of the Abundance Mindset Show. Tune in every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 12 p.m. Eastern on various social media platforms hosted by Vinnie Chopra and Gualter Amarello. Don't forget to subscribe, share your comments, and leave a 5-star review. Thank you for your support.